stats to back. We're tossing hot takes like a perfect pass.
Let's get it.
Talking touchdowns, tackles, and a little sass. Toxic Couch TV, where the banter flies so free. Toxic Couch TV, you get your sports straight from we. We call the plays before they unfold. Predict the champs, both brave and bold. From Sunday lights to Monday night, we're singing takes that just sound right. Toxic Couch TV, the gridiron's melody. Toxic Couch TV, hot takes in perfect
Amen.
key.
Let's
That
go.
QB's cold,
Toxic Couches
but he
live.
still got soul. Defense wins when the nights turn old. Ooh, the game's on a roll.
Sorry, still turning.
Ba-da-dum, ba-da-dum, boom, boom. Now here's the breaking news. Don't change that view. And don't change that view. Toxic Couch TV, your weekly show with glee. Colton and Alex, harmony. Toxic Couch TV. Stay tuned, folks.
Oh, right.
Do-ah, hey, 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 we're live from the couch where the big boys play. Colton Heinrich, sharp as a tack. Alex Blackwood.
Do our teams suck?
Yeah. But at least we have Tanner today.
Let's get
Yeah.
Toxic Couch TV. Stay tuned, folks.
Today it feels like we can't catch a break because we're having all the technological issues in the world. You might be able to hear us, but we're moving at 2 frames per second, but we're still going to bring it to you every single Thursday. I'm Colton Heinrich. I'm joined by my 2 best friends, Alex Blackwood and Tanner Rianga. So let's get into it with some team reactions for this last week. Both of our teams lost, so that sucks.
I guess I'll start off by saying this. Do not blame that game on the defense, okay? I don't care who you play. It could be a high school team, a junior college team, a college team, much less an NFL team. When you turn the ball over 6 times, 3 interceptions, 2 fumbles, 1 muffed punt, you're not going to beat anybody I just talked about. Anybody. We gave them the darn game.
Yeah.
In my opinion, that sucked. I mean, it's pitiful. It is absolutely pitiful to perform like that. Pitiful. To put it in the adjusted words of Jim Mora.
Yeah, you guys played the Steelers. Their defense woke up. I don't know if I would be too upset. Tanner, what do you think on this one? I thought the Steelers just looked like who we thought that they could be.
I think the Steelers Mike Tomlin is the ultimate motivator coach. They come off a really bad loss from the Packers. Mike Tomlin probably had that team fired up. Aaron Rodgers, love him. He was on our team for a while. I mean, he's a smart guy. He knows what you have to do to win in this league. And honestly, if that Steeler defense plays like that, and that's how they should be playing, they are a really, really, really good team. And if they can create turnovers, and their two big wins of the season, the Colts and the Patriots, they have created, I believe, 11 turnovers in both those games. So if they can create turnovers, that's how they are going to win games.
Yeah,
But the
I'm
Colts,
with you
I
on
think, are
that.
going to be fine.
One thing I did
I
see
think
that
the
was
Colts
much
just had a-
better. Sorry. One thing that I did see that was much better out of the defense was the play calling. I think that really lacked, especially in the Green Bay game. But this week it looked much better.
Oh.
Watt and Highsmith were able to make more highlight plays. So, yeah, this is actually a very exciting win for Pittsburgh, and it definitely gave them their season back.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a Colts fan, I wouldn't be freaking out right now. That's just me personally. You guys have looked good against some really good teams, and I don't know. I just think the Colts shouldn't be in panic mode yet. Do you think that you're in panic mode after that Sauce Gardner trade, though?
Not in the short term.
No, I didn't think so.
Definitely not. The two firsts for him, we'll talk about this a lot more later in our weekly stories segment, but 2 picks might not have been the most ideal for someone like Sauce, but you never know. He could have just needed a little bit of a fresh start. I think in the short run, for sure, he's going to help us a lot, especially on the defensive side where we've really been hurting.
Yeah. Tanner, what did you think of the Sauce trade?
And
They gave up two first round picks and A.D. Mitchell.
I think, okay, first of all, if you're giving up 2 first-round picks, you believe in your quarterback. So even after that Steelers game, the Colts, I think, do truly believe in Daniel Jones. And I think we still are yet to see, and I actually have it in my hot takes later, but we'll get to that. I mean, I have something about Daniel Jones, and Daniel Jones is leading the league in passing. He's a top 10 quarterback in pretty much every statistic. So it's hard to remove those Giants years, but he's a good quarterback, and I think for the Sauce Gardner is a really good player, and I think if anybody on the Jets are just, I think, honestly the worst organization in football, and if you're on the Jets, you're just going to suck.
Yeah, we'll get into that later because we've got plenty of time to talk about plenty of teams. Alex, before we move over to the Green Bay Packers and Tanner and I's reaction for that team, would you like to read our first ever sponsorship on Toxic Couch TV?
Oh, absolutely. Today's episode of Toxic Couch TV is brought to you by Heinrich's Harmony. Heinrich's Harmony offers private piano, guitar, and voice lessons rooted in a Christ-centered approach to music education. Whether you're a beginner or an experienced musician, you'll find lessons that help you grow in skill and in faith. Learn more or sign up today at stepstograce.com and scroll to Heinrich's Harmony, where faith and music come together in perfect harmony.
That's a pretty good ad read right there. Nice job. All right, well, let's get into some Packers reactions. Tanner, I will throw it to you first before I go off.
14 points.
My
14
reaction,
favorites. What happened?
that was the worst Packers loss I think I can remember watching. It may be recency bias, but not because we lost by 3 points. That's not really that bad. But just the expectations of this season and of that game. I mean, if we want to be a Super Bowl team should be blowing teams out like that. Like the Bills did with the Panthers last week. And honestly, the Panthers aren't a bad team. But still, if you're the best team in the NFL, if you're playing a sub or a middle of the pack team, you should be at least not making it 13-13 at the end, and the Panthers ended up kicking the game-winning field goal. It just was a really frustrating game to watch, and obviously Tucker Kraft goes down, and that was heartbreaking, and that it gut-wrenching. But I mean, next man up mentality, but it's really hard to replace a player like that, Tucker Kraft.
Yeah. So I'm kind of in the same boat here. The Tucker Craft loss hurt more than losing to the Panthers, and I'll touch on the Panthers a little bit more later. I've got a whole bunch of stuff prepared for them, and a whole bunch of hot takes that I have relating to the Panthers that we'll get into an overreaction or not for sure.
Yeah, I actually have a question for you guys about the loss of Tucker Craft. Now that Craft is gone, who do you expect to get more of the targets? Will we see an increase in Musgrave? Will Musgrave have more of a role in the offense?
Musgrave's definitely going to have more of a role in the offense. I don't think you're going to see him be as explosive as Tucker Craft because Tucker's just a unique individual on that offensive side of the ball. I do, however, think that we are likely to have higher targets for guys like Christian Watson and Romeo Dobbs. Clearly, Romeo Dobbs had some trade rumors going around him. Deadline has come and gone. Romeo Dobbs is staying Green Bay Packers. Shocker. I knew that was happening. Clearly, the Packers have no interest and confidence in our guys, so we're not going to move on from them.
Yeah, I don't see
No, I
why
agree
he
with that.
really should. He's been a great player for you guys.
Right. Yeah. No, this loss was devastating.
I think that yeah.
My question is for this game, and I don't know if Tanner has a better answer. So I watched the entire game. We saw this battered and bruised defensive line, or battered and bruised offensive line. Sorry, I got to turn my microphone down. Battered and bruised, yet somehow held Micah Parsons to 0 pressures. That's my worry, is the lack of pressures from Micah Parsons. You know, Micah was doing really good, and now all of a sudden he's just gone. I don't know if it's just because they schemed better. I don't know if they've just got great coaching down there, but...
Yeah, no, I mean, when you have a guy like Micah, sometimes I feel like you are going to have those games though because they're so focused on him. But yeah, it was. I mean, really, our defense as a whole played well, only allowing 16 points, and I think it's hard to criticize the defense when our offense does absolutely nothing. I mean, if you're and really the worst, most frustrating part about the offense was that we got in the Reds. We never punted the entire game. We did not punt once. We got in the red zone multiple times. We just never could punch it. We could barely punch it in. And that was the most frustrating part. And I think for that, and the defense could have done better. Micah could have been more competitive, but you can't. It's just hard. The whole team needs to play better.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Yeah, we'll get into it more later. We've got a whole bunch coming up still. But I think it's time for our favorite segment.
Overreaction or not, baby. Man, this one is so fun
Yeah.
every single time. And with a new member of our squad, we're actually going to quick remind you guys of what the rules for overreaction or not are. So one of us is going to share a reaction with Colton. If I'm sharing, it would be Colton with Tanner. They each are going to tell me whether or not they think that's an overreaction or not. They don't know what I'm going to say, but yeah, so they're going to say that, and then I am going to say my formal opinion on that too. And then we're going to go to the next person, whether that be Colton or Tanner. Then the process will repeat.
Mm-hmm.
So I will go first because I insist on being first, and I'm gonna give Colton. You got a little bit of a freebie. I told you one.
Oh yes, I do know.
I told you one yesterday. The Colts are frauds.
Tanner, I'll throw this one to you first because I have a very strong opinion.
That is an overreaction. The Colts are not frauds. They had a bad week. It's the NFL. This year, the NFL has been full of just teams having bad weeks. And honestly, the Colts have had the least bad weeks out of any team in the NFL right now. They're 7-2 right now. Jonathan Taylor, I mean, other than that Steelers game, is playing out of his mind. He's on track to have LaDainian Tomlinson numbers. Daniel Jones is playing great. They just added another great corner on defense. They have a great rush defense. So I think the Colts are here to stay. I mean, it's debatable whether or not if they're a Super Bowl team, but I think they're most definitely a playoff team and are definitely going to be in that AFC contention.
Yeah, this is totally an overreaction, Alex. I think that as a Colts fan, it might feel all doom and gloom. Oh, you just lost your first 2-round picks. No, the Colts are not fakers. They played good teams throughout the year. Now, people are saying, well, the only good team that they played and they beat was the luck of that penalty that came through with the Broncos. But they held their own and almost won against a really good Rams team. We'll talk about it when we get to our power rankings. I've got the Rams top 5 this week. So, yeah, I think you're overreacting quite a bit here.
I am also going to say I did not overreact. I said this was an overreaction. I'm just a little worried about what happens if Jonathan Taylor for some reason can't get it going. The O-line had an off week, and that will happen. We got to be consistent. And at the end of the day, what's going to get us to a Super Bowl is if we get the good version of Daniel Jones that we have come to know the first 8 weeks of the season. Because if we get the Daniel Jones that doesn't know what to do when his run game can't get going, then it all falls to pieces. And we can't have that. Not on Carly's watch.
Not on Carly Ursay, the big 3. Oh, all right. So this is my next one. And I'm going to stick with our hometown team here. The Packers unis were straight fire this week, overreaction or not.
I am going to say that is
Not
an
overreaction.
I think they were, no offense to you, Colton, I thought they were straight buns. And so my mom was actually watching the Packers game. She was down in Florida for a trip. And she texted me while that game was going on. And she was like, these uniforms look like the Bears. And it was literally the funniest text I had ever gotten from my mom. I left for like the next 10 minutes. And I'm like, yeah, Mom, that's kind of the point. They're supposed to represent the 1920s. And she's like, yeah, well, it's disgusting. So, yeah, I can't help but agree.
Mom's so dirty with that voice.
I can't help but agree with her, though. And I am going to say that is an overreaction.
Yikes. Tanner?
No, I disagree. I think it's not an overreaction. They're great obviously, they are great throwback jerseys. They are timeless. They're just classic. It's one of those things that just, like, they're just a classic. I think they're great. I think they're awesome. I mean, as long as we just can't play like we're in 1923, though, when we wear them, to be fair.
I'm with you. I love them. Obviously, I'm wearing it. I spent $120 to get it. But I would like to show you guys something. Tanner, I'll show it to you first. Boba is watching from home.
Really?
Boba has sent us pictures of Boba. Hang on. Let's see if we can get it. Boba's watching from home. I can't get it up on the screen. Shout out, Boba. We love you, Boba.
That's awesome.
Oh, there she is. Oh, sweet Lord.
That's awesome.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
All right, Tanner, your turn for the hot take here.
All right, my hot take. JSN is the best receiver in the NFL right now. Period.
He put a period.
I mean, better than Justin Jefferson, better than Jamar Chase, better than Puka Nacua.
If we're talking just this season, that is absolutely not an overreaction. Yeah. I mean, we've seen so many great highlights from this dude, and his production is just absolutely off the charts this season. I have to deal with it from this guy's fantasy team every week, and I'm so glad that he's been able to take the next step. Maybe losing guys like Tyler Lockett was kind of a blessing in disguise, so that JSN could break out and be that top receiver that we knew he could be, even at Ohio State when he was playing in the slot as wide receiver 3. This is not an overreaction at all, and JSN has reached his full potential.
I don't think he's reached his full potential. I don't agree with that. I think this is absolutely 100% not an overreaction. I'm interested to see how the Shaheed trade will play out in Seattle, and if he's going to become somebody like Tyler Lockett and JSN's going to lose targets. But honestly, JSN is playing the best ball out of any receiver. The only reason I would say that it is a slight overreaction, Jamar Chase is on a losing team and not getting the same attention, but holy crap, that man is insanely good at football. That's what I'll say.
Yeah.
I'm going to fix your mic for a second. There you go.
Tanner, how do you feel about
No,
your
I
own
agree.
hot take?
I mean, I think it's not an overreaction. I mean, looking at the stats, he leads the league in receiving yards right now, 948. And one stat that I thought was crazy, he has a 38% target share on the season. This man, when Sam Darnold throws the ball, he's throwing it to JSN 1 out of 3 times. That is insane. An NFL offense where you have a bunch of dudes that are great at football. He's getting thrown the ball 1/3 of the time.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Dude is just constantly open.
Yeah. I mean, JSN's a monster of a player. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm with you.
I'm going to go with my next hot take, and that is Josh Allen is the new MVP as of this point.
Oh, that's an overreaction. I would be shocked if anybody beats out Jonathan Taylor. If he puts up 2 or 3 more games with 3 touchdowns, Jonathan Taylor should be the MVP, and we need to stop calling it a quarterback award. But that's just, I'm not the one voting. But I do think that that's an overreaction on Josh Allen's part. Yeah, he's doing great. He's doing great things. He was the MVP last season. At the halfway mark, JT is still my MVP.
No, I think that's an overreaction as well. I think, honestly, even on the Bills, I think right now, the MVP on the Bills right now is James Cook. I think, honestly, because the most dangerous thing about the Bills is that they have a run game and that they can run the ball and that they can keep good quarterbacks like Patrick Mahomes off the field. And I think, not discrediting Josh Allen. Josh Allen is top 2 quarterback in the league, but I think this year, not an MVP yet.
I am going to agree with you guys, actually, and say that this is an overreaction. If Jonathan Taylor puts up more 45-yard stinkers like he did last week, then maybe the race could widen out a little bit for guys like Josh Allen and James Cook. But for now, I am going to agree it's JT, and then probably James Cook next right after him. But, yeah, this is definitely not a QB award this year as of right now.
All right, we have a chaotic show today, so it's my turn. So I'm going to take this opportunity to make a little bit of a phone call. Head coach Nate, you're talking to the Toxic Couch right now.
How's it going, Toxic Couch?
Oh, we're hanging in there. So you were just saying that you wanted to pitch in on some of these. So you said we didn't talk about McManus enough. So I'm gonna throw this hot take at all 3 of you. Is the Packers are not bad. The Panthers are just better than people realize. Head coach Nate, let's get your take on this one first.
That is correct. And if we had a kicker, this would be a totally different conversation.
Understandable. We have a kicker in Harvesek, though. He's doing great. What they should have done is they should have put McManus on IR. Tanner, what do you got, bud?
Put him in. No, the Panthers are. I think they're a good team. I think, honestly, I mean, Rico Dowdle, man, if they give that guy the ball, I'm being a little sarcastic here, but he might be like one of the most talented running backs in the league. It looks like it.
Yeah. This
dude, I have some stats later because I'm talking about my fantasy section, but he's kind of going crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Mad respect for Dowdle. That's a heck of a back there.
Yeah, absolutely.
So actually, this was one of my hot takes, and I'll say word for word what I put in here. I've said it once on this show, and I'll say it again. The Carolina Panthers are going to the playoffs. And that I can absolutely agree with. That is not an overreaction. The Panthers are a great team, and they have so much potential. You will absolutely see them in the conversation come playoff time towards those final weeks of the season.
Yeah, of course. All right. Well, head coach Nate, thank you for joining us for a few minutes here.
Seed.
Oh, my pleasure, guys. You guys have a great evening.
All right. Bye, coach.
Bye, coach.
Bye, coach.
All right. Yeah, no, the Panthers have been just doing phenomenal work. And I think Bryce Young, that offensive line, despite the injuries, Rico Dowdle, we talked about it a couple weeks ago on Overreaction or Not. I said Rico Dowdle is the next breakout star in this league, and gosh darn it, those words tasted like fine wine this week.
Yeah, Darnold has already won an Offensive Player of the Week in my weekly awards section, which we'll get to later on.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Just an absolutely great player and turning this team around really by himself.
Yep. All right, Tanner, you're up, dude.
All right, my next hot take right now. The Chiefs right now are the 8th seed.
Mm-hmm.
The Chiefs will miss the playoffs.
I've got that in mind too. I said that's literally my next one. Chiefs may be out of playoff contention this year due to their poor start. This is not an overreaction. The Chiefs may miss the playoff race with the Chargers doing so well in their division and the Broncos also leading. The Chiefs might be out of it, which is crazy because we were just talking 2 weeks ago about how we thought they turned it around.
So I have this one in mind as well. I said the Chiefs are not winning the Super Bowl.
Oh.
And
Yeah.
but you guys said playoffs, and I'm here to tell you right now, you guys are massively, massively overreacting. Like you guys don't understand the experience Mahomes has. We've seen rough starts from other proven starters like Lamar. I know he was hurt for a little bit, but even he was struggling to win games. Tom Brady in like the late 2010s would usually start seasons going like 3-3. You cannot doubt this man, Patrick Mahomes, because the moment you do, he is going to prove all of America wrong and torment America, except for Swifties, for another year. And that's why I believe that that's an overreaction.
Okay. Well, I think that it's not an overreaction. I think it's very possible.
It's possible any given Sunday.
Yep. All right, Blackwood, back to you, bud.
So this is my last hot take that I have in here that wasn't taken by you guys. Sam Darnold is a top 5 quarterback in the NFL.
That's not an overreaction for me, Tanner.
No, not an overreaction.
Yeah.
If you're talking about right now, I mean, stats-wise, he's pretty much at the top of everything.
I'm even talking film-wise.
Yeah,
can't-
but
I
he's
mean,
got JSN. I can't
Film-wise,
Yeah. Yeah, he looks fantastic.
And they have
What
Torrey Horton, who had
turnaround.
2 receiving touchdowns this past Sunday.
Yeah, I'm totally with you. This is not an overreaction, and he's only going to get better with the additions that are being put around him at the trade deadline and that offensive line getting healthier.
Yeah, no, I don't see how anyone could say that he's not. I am going to agree with both of you and say that this is not an overreaction by any means.
Yep. All right, so this is my next one. Oh man, I've got a few on here. JJ McCarthy is him. Overreaction or not?
Ooh. For now, not an overreaction. This dude is an absolute demon and shows it on the field. He can make a highlight in whatever situation and whatever time he wants. The dude is a demon, and he has a lot of help on that team too. I know that they've been banged up a lot on the offensive side, but he's still got a lot, especially long term. He's going to do some damage in an already challenging NFC North.
Yep.
No. I think that's an overreaction. Just because I really I haven't seen much. We haven't seen much JJ McCarthy yet. We saw one good quarter in that Bears game. He played. If you look at the stats, he had a great passer rating in that first quarter. I should pull him up, but I mean, after that first quarter, the defense kept him in that game, and I don't know. I think he's a product of really, really good coaching, which is not. I'm not blaming him, and not saying that's a bad thing. And I think Kevin O'Connell is a top 3 coach in this league, and I think that Brian Flores is probably the best defensive coordinator right now. But I think it's a little bit of an overreaction right now. But I think it's possible that he will. He just needs to be consistent. I need to see some more games.
For me, this one is an overreaction for today, but I don't think long term it'll be an overreaction. I think JJ is going to be their next franchise quarterback, especially with the coach. They've got a bright future in Minnesota. Yeah. This is an overreaction for now, but it's something that we should keep our eyes on.
And Tanner, to wrap it up.
My final hot take.
Final hot take.
Final
What
hot
you got
take.
for us, bud?
Indiana Jones has turned back to Giants Daniel Jones.
Oh,
Well, we kind of already talked about that.
that's an
Yeah,
overreaction for
we
me.
did.
It was a good defense that he played, and a defense that had been embarrassed week after week after week. Yeah, this is a total overreaction. Indiana Jones will be just fine.
Yeah.
For me, it depends. It depends on what the rest of the offense can do. My big worry, like I said before, is what happens when the O-line has an off day. When that happens, the whole offense just seems to crumble. And that's how it kind of was every day in 2022 when Matt Ryan was the QB and the O-line was just really, really hurt. And even in 24 when Anthony Richardson was dealing with second-string O-linemen. That's just how it rolls in Indianapolis. And that's how it rolls on most teams, actually. What do you do when the O-line
That is true.
has an off day? And it doesn't seem like Daniel Jones can overcome that adversity. I haven't seen that sort of proof. So it really depends. I guess with a coin flip, I'll just say overreaction.
So we have one more honorary overreaction or not hot take. We do it every week that the Cowboys lose. Jerry Jones should sell the team, overreaction or not.
Not an overreaction! Not an overreaction. This never has been an overreaction.
Tanner?
Yeah, not an overreaction. I mean, he can make some real good money and just like go off into the sunset, go on his oil rig, put on a sun chair, just get some tan on his skin. You know, and don't have to do a fake spray tan anymore. Just sit, relax, watch the money come in, bro. I mean, that's a good life.
Elon Musk can buy a team in his home state at any time.
I love it. I love it. All right.
All right, so that does it for overreaction or not, and we now turn it over to our weekly stories. And holy cow, we got a ton of stories to talk about.
So much to
And
cover.
right when we were getting our show started, we actually have some more stories to talk about that weren't even in our notes. But we're going to start with a game that was absolutely chaotic on Sunday, and it was the story of how a defense just completely imploded. And that defense is the Cincinnati Bengals once again. And they lost that game 47-42 to Chicago. And after the game, Jamar Chase and Chase Brown were seen voicing their frustrations with the defense, to say the least.
How could you not? They're terrible. Zach Taylor is a defensive coach, correct?
He's an offensive coach.
Oh,
I'm pretty
offensive
sure.
coach?
No, he's an offensive coach.
Offensive coach? So who's their
Yeah.
defensive coordinator right now?
I don't know.
It was. I
because
don't even
it's
know
not
it.
Lou.
It was Lou Amaromo. It was the Colts defensive coordinator.
Yeah, and now
when
he's
they
killing
fired
it
him.
with the Colts. So it's not a personnel
Yeah.
thing. They have Trey Hendrickson.
Yeah.
And
Well,
other
I think he
guys.
was injured for this game. I do believe he was injured.
Yeah, I don't know, man. This catastrophic
I think that
for the Bengals.
they're just
Their
a bum
defensive
franchise.
coordinator is Al Gordon.
I don't
Al
even-
Golden, sorry.
Yeah.
Once again, I still don't know who that is.
Yeah. And I don't think
I mean,
anyone needs to
they're
know who he
gonna.
is.
Yeah, the Bengals are the new Lions with Matt Stafford. It just I mean, Joe Burrow's injured right now, but I just feel horrible for him. I mean, they cannot get this defense right, and they had it. The crazy thing was is they had it right for a few years, but they've refused it. It's a cheap organization. Mike
is.
Brown is the poorest owner in the league. they don't even have they. I think they just recently got indoor facility for the
That's
first
correct.
time, and the year is 2025. I mean I don't even think they have a general manager because just for cheapness sake. I mean, it just is they don't want to spend the money. Even they paid Jamar Chase, they paid T Higgins, they paid Joe Burrow, but they only pay what they need to pay, and they don't pay to make this team better. And I think that it will just hurt them. And the longer you go, unless if you're drafting good, it's not possible.
Are the Bengals the definition of a poverty franchise because of their lack of being able to spend money?
Well, no, because they
Yes.
managed to get to a Super Bowl even with those situations.
Right, but then remember,
That
Joe
is
Burrow
true.
was the most sacked quarterback in the history of the Super Bowl.
That is very true.
Yep.
I mean, I think I don't know, Zach Taylor. I like him. I think he could probably be a great offensive coordinator, but personnel. I mean, they haven't been able to get this O line right for years. It's kind of sad. But Joe Flacco is a dog.
Joe Flacco is a dog.
Is a dog.
Joe
That
Flacco is
man-
elite.
It's like, what else are you supposed to do?
He ages like fine wine.
Yeah, one of his best career game against the Chicago Bears, and they still lost.
Yeah, I don't know
Yeah.
what more you expect out of him.
The Bengals, imagine if the Bengals and the Browns meshed franchises, had the Browns defense, Bengals offense. Boom. Super Bowl caliber team
Mega.
right there.
Then you'd have
instantly.
the
Ohio
Ohio State
team.
Buckeyes.
Yeah, but then
the-
it's a Super Bowl team. Literally.
Yeah.
They should just combine. They should become the Steelers and Eagles did, the Steagles.
They could play at Ohio Stadium and be called the Ohio Glory.
Exactly.
Yeah.
People
Yeah.
aren't thinking about this kind of
Yep.
stuff. It's just on Toxic Couch TV where we bring up these ideas.
Let's go to some more positive
That'd be
news
great
now.
idea. Great idea.
We have a broken record. Cam Little with the longest field goal in NFL history.
And somehow it still went into overtime with the Raiders.
Yep.
One of my hot takes that I didn't get to share with
Jaguars.
you guys was I think that the Jaguars might suck, guys. They definitely don't look great. The Jaguars are a franchise that confuse me as is. You've got great players who can do great things, and I guarantee you Cam Little's going to hit a longer field goal this year. Guaranteed.
And I normally say not an
He
overreaction to
will.
that, but then in week 14, when we go to Jacksonville and we get pooped on, it's like we always do every year since 2015. Then I'm going to have to keep my mouth shut the rest of the year.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
but on the other side, the Raiders also had a big performance out of Brock Bowers. After missing the past 4 games from injury, he had a hat trick as a tight end with 12 receptions and 127 yards.
Yeah. Bowers, once again,
This
after
one-
being injured. Go ahead, Tanner. I'll give you this one. This one's a little personal for you.
This one hits a little personal to me because I traded him right away when we got injured, which I don't regret because I got Tyler Warren and Tyler Warren and Cortland Sutton. It was a good pickup, but man, when I saw Brock Bowers go off this week, I was like, man, if I just would have been a little bit more patient on him, I could have had this. But it is what it is. You can't win every trade.
Yep. Yeah, he's absolutely going off. You could tell that he's finally back from injury because this is about what we expected from him last season too.
Yeah.
Great
Honestly,
performance
he went
out of
crazy.
him. But now we have to go back to negative news, which means it is time to bring out the injury bug.
The injury bug is back this week. Hurts
Oh,
a little bit more. Oh no, the injury bug.
The injury bug struck this week.
Oh, it was bad. It was really bad. We've already touched on it a little bit. Alex, I'll let you rattle some off here.
Yeah, Jaden Daniels went down. Oh, that was
Gruesome.
a truly
That was horrible.
gruesome, disgusting one. Joe Alt is expected to go into surgery and miss the rest of the season. Marshawn
Brutal for the
Lattimore
Chargers.
is expected to be out the rest of the year. Tucker Kraft, we already talked about. And Michael Williams of the San Francisco 49ers, all of which are expected to be out for the year with different injuries.
Yeah, injuries this year just have been insane, and we've talked how we might want to bring people on the show just to see what their takes are on these injuries, because it feels different this year, doesn't it, with the injuries? It felt like the year Aaron Rodgers and Kirk Cousins tore their Achilles at the same time. Like, this is what it feels like, but it feels at such a bigger level. Tyreek Hill had a gruesome one this year. Jaden Daniels, gruesome. Except he's only expected to miss a few weeks. He's only questionable for this week, not listed as out because it was just a dislocation, and they're expecting him to possibly be able to play on it.
Yeah, and to his non-throwing arm, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep.
Nice, good.
Yeah.
Good for him.
I want to talk about the Joe Alt injury. We saw the difference in how the team performed with him versus without. Mm-hmm. The offense at times really, truly struggled without him there and really couldn't get much going.
Yeah, and they're already without their best offensive lineman this year, who went out during training camp. Rashawn Slater. I'm. It's really weird to me that the O-line keeps going down over there, because this is the second time Alt's gone down. Mm-hmm. But I will say this: I think they got better at the trade deadline. I do, because they went out and they got Trevor Penning, somebody who I was always very high on coming into the draft. Yes, he has a few character issues, but I think getting a new start on a good team, he will be a crucial piece. He was somebody that I expected to be one of the best offensive linemen in his class and join like the Tristan Wirfs of infamousy. He hasn't been that, but I think you're going to see him become that with the Chargers.
So you talked about trades, which means it is time to get to our major weekly story, which is the trade deadline this week. Mm-hmm. And you see how the trade deadline can go for the NBA and the MLB. The NFL never really seems to do anything super magical during the trade deadline. That was not the case this year. We had maybe the greatest trade deadline the NFL has ever seen.
Oh, I don't know about that. CMC was traded at the deadline.
That is very true.
It was a good week for trades. We already talked about how you feel about the Colts trade. I think you guys won that trade. I think Sauce is going to be great in Lou Anarumo's defense. Tanner, what did you think about that trade?
I think it was a good trade. I mean, if you can trade for a player that is corners in this league right now, there are really not that many great corners, and they are hard to come by. If you can trade for one that you know is going to produce day one, you know is one of the best corners in the league, you know he's up there with Patrick Surtain and people like that. I mean, I don't blame you for trading for him. First, I mean, you're telling me you're going to take a 50-50 shot in a corner with your first-round pick that you have no idea if it's going to work, and it may not be as good as Sauce. I would just take someone that I know is young. I know that's really good already. I know that he's proven. Just do it. Be aggressive. It's a aggressive league.
That was a great way to put it.
See, where my concern comes in is I didn't think we needed a corner. Our DB room looks absolutely amazing when they're healthy, because we already have Charvarius Ward, Mooney Ward, we call him as Colts fans, Kenny Moore, Cam Bynum, Nick Cross, especially against the run. That is a great DB room. I do believe that Sauce does bring in that man-to-man coverage value that we were kind of missing, especially when we were banged up. But at the end of the day, I didn't think we needed to spend 2 first-rounders on probably the strength of our defense.
Yeah, I think that it's a good trade. I think that Colts fans maybe feel a little bit differently, but from an outsider perspective, 2 firsts is heavy, but the Packers set the precedent with Micah. That's just what you have to pay for a premier defensive player now.
Yeah, and they managed to get... No. And they probably should have paid more for Micah because he was on an expiring deal.
Yeah, agreed.
Let's talk about some of the other trades. Quinnen Williams is now a Dallas Cowboy.
The Cowboys did not get better.
I think that's great.
No, they did not.
I hate to say it. I don't think they got better.
I disagree.
Really? All right, Tanner.
I disagree. I think I think it was a good trade for the Cowboys. You have 4 first-round picks. You only give up one, and that's not even from this year's draft. It's actually from the 2027 draft. You have your quarterback in Dak. You now Quinnen Williams, Kenny Clark. You have a great D line now, and I know you trade Micah, but when you trade Micah, you create some flexibility. You don't have a $47 million cap hit on you. You already have Dak, who's the highest paid quarterback, and CD, which I believe he's up there as the highest paid receiver. I mean, if you would have paid Micah, we would have been really top heavy. Now you have 3 first-round picks. You can draft you can draft an edge rusher. He may not be as good as Micah, but I think that a defensive tackle and interior lineman is more unique than an edge rusher. There's a bunch of guys that are tall, 6'5", can rush a quarterback. Edge rushers are like the wide receivers of the defense. I mean, it's really easy to find a big, strong, athletic guy. I mean, obviously you have your out of the ordinary, unique guys like Micah was, and or T.J. Watt, people like that. But I think that it was a good trade for the Cowboys and for the Jets. I think the Jets just need to implode.
Yeah, they need to sell. They need to. I can't believe Breece Hall didn't get moved.
While we're
Yeah,
on the topic
me too.
of the
I was hoping
Cowboys, I
you would.
totally forgot I was going to start
Yeah.
with this, but I regret to inform anyone who hasn't figured out yet. Marshawn Nealon has passed away. He had a defensive touchdown just this past Monday night against the Cardinals, so this one is especially sad. This was a self-inflicted gunshot wound following a police chase.
Yeah,
What a
we
shame.
spend a lot of time clowning on the Cowboys. This one hits a little bit different because whenever in the football scene, I know we've gone from fun to now something pretty serious. But when somebody in the football scene passes away, it's felt throughout every level, from those of us who watch it, from those of us who played it, and from I can't imagine how the people in the locker room are feeling.
Yeah, no.
I'm gonna
Horrible.
say this, and this is just a personal thing that I would like to say when it comes to this. It's really important to check up on people. From the details that we know, it seems like a mental crisis was being had. Especially the men in your life, make sure that you're checking in with them. Make sure that you're in touch with them, because this kind of stuff really hurts. It hurts anybody to see, but yeah, it sucks. It sucks for football. It sucks for life. It sucks for his family. It sucks for his girlfriend. I mean, it's pretty sad.
Yeah. Prayers go out for the Nealon family. We as Christians will continue to say that anytime news like this happens. We really pray that the Nealon family can recover from this.
Yeah, and the Cowboys family, as much as like I said, as much as we like to clown on them, it's really sad whenever this kind of stuff happens. And it feels like we've had a lot of these in the NFL lately, with Mangold going down for the Jets. Weird year for the NFL. I'll put it that way.
In more Cowboys news, the Cowboys did make another trade before the Quinnen Williams trade. They managed to go out and grab Logan Wilson, who was very disgruntled with the Bengals.
Yeah, I think this is a good trade. He was on everybody's trade block. People called around for him months ago. It was pretty expected. I didn't think the Cowboys would pick him up, but good for them.
Yeah, this is a good pickup, I think.
Yep, I
think
agree.
with the fresh start, Logan Wilson should make more of an impact.
Agreed.
Some of the other trades around the league, Jacoby Myers is being traded from Vegas to Duval County.
They need it with Travis on IR, and Travis Hunter has not lived up to the number 2 overall pick potential. But yeah, I'm great move for Duval. Jaguars still I don't think are going to be worth much, but good for them. Tanner?
Yeah, I think it's a good move. I don't have anything to say about a good move. Makes sense. Get another receiver when a receiver goes down. Makes sense.
Yep.
Rashid Shaheed to the Seattle Seahawks. What do we think?
Good move. It only puts weapons in Darnold's hands. We already talked about it.
I
Yeah,
wanna
great
talk-
move. I think it only opens up Jalen more. Yeah.
I want to talk
Sorry,
about.
Alex, go ahead.
I want to talk about how much Rashid Shaheed's fantasy value just tanked, because the Saints ran a great system that got Rashid Shaheed involved, and I don't know if any other team in the NFL can get him involved in the catch and run the same way the Saints were able to. So that's actually been a struggle for me to be like, what should I do with Rashid Shaheed on my team now? So, yeah. The last trade we're going to talk about here is Jalen Phillips going to the Philadelphia Eagles.
They needed it. They definitely needed it. They needed the help on defense. Eagles only continue to get better every single year, either in free agency or in the trade deadline. It's very interesting to me because every single year it feels like at the end of the season the Eagles are in sell mode and they move on from a bunch of pieces, and here they are still being good again. So good on them.
No.
The foundation
Hi,
of the
Roseman.
Sirianni-led Eagles is that they are a team that is built entirely on depth.
Yeah.
And that's what you see here, them going out and grabbing more depth, having this huge rotation of guys that they can play whenever they want. And that's the main reason the Eagles have been as successful as they have been these past 3 years.
Yep, I'm with you.
This is a textbook move for them.
All right, this is now for my favorite part of the show. Let's get into This Sucks.
All right, and I guess I am starting. So, there is a man in the NFL, and he is on your screen right now, who has been bothering me with his... I want to say a word that I can't say, but just no humility, total character issues, just talking all the time, and is just a bother to see with my eyes. And that man is Jalen Ramsey. So I had to deal with watching him this past Sunday, and that's why this really came up for me. You know how many times I had to watch on my screen Jalen Ramsey not even being involved in an incompletion and still running his mouth? Yeah, he does that silly, and then he literally get up into like the face masks of people and not get called for it. So Alec Pierce, I saw Daniel Jones trying to throw a deep one to Alec Pierce. I can't remember if he led him a little too far. I think he might have. But another Steelers corner, I think it was Joey Porter, I can't remember, was already on it and already really forced the incompletion. And Jalen Ramsey was just kind of there, so it looked like double coverage, but it really wasn't. This dude, Jalen Ramsey, literally goes up to Alec Pierce's face mask and just like collides with it, and it's just like and it's like, what? You didn't even do anything. Stop running your mouth, man. The Steelers are one of those organizations where running your mouth is allowed, and the majority of your team is going to be doing it. So I understand. But when you got cooked as bad as you did 2 weeks ago against Jamar Chase, you shouldn't even be in the league anymore. like even with the switch over to safety, you're not good. You moved there because you suck, and the Steelers safeties are all injured, even with the trade that they got from the Patriots for Kyle Duggar. I don't know. I don't know what it's going to take to humble this man. And that, my friends, is what sucks.
Alex, that was amazing. So you're joining me on the Jalen Ramsey sucks train. I've been on this when his popularity was at his peak. Tanner, do you remember this? We went to go watch him in Green Bay. And
Yes,
I was like, I hate
against
this
the
guy.
Rams.
I hate this guy. So I'm
Yeah.
with you. I think he's so cocky. and needs to get humbled. I thought that he would get humbled, but apparently he didn't.
There is one last thing I will say. We need more AJ Greens in the NFL.
we need more tumble people.
All right.
We need more people like Antonio Brown.
We forgot to mention it.
Oh yeah, we had a whole bunch of weekly stories that we forgot to mention.
It just happened. Antonio Brown was extradited to the United States from Dubai after avoiding all of his court dates and yada yada yada. So yes, Captain CTE comes back to the U.S. Yay!
Yahoo!
Oh.
Okay, Tanner, your This Sucks is next.
All right. I know I have something written down, but I'm gonna go. I'm going off script. Brandon McManus, I love him. I love that man to death. I would, if I saw that man, I would kiss him right on the butt because of how nice his butt is and how big it is. It's great. But he is. Sorry. Oh yeah, and Dan Quinn. Okay, you did put that up on the screen now, but. He is at a 68% field goal percentage. And you have a guy sitting behind him, Lucas Rizrak, who, whatever his heck his name is, I don't even care.
Harbasak.
He set the Packers record for longest field goal. He was perfect. And Brandon McManus comes in, and he lost us a game. He could have very well lost us a game to the Steelers if Jordan Love didn't have the best game of his career. I mean, I love him, but he just needs to play better. And also, yeah, okay, now that you have the picture up, I'll just go on this rant too. Dan Quinn keeping Jaden Daniels in the game was despicable. Like, come on, it's like, I don't even know what the score was. It was 38-0 at that point. I mean, just take the guy out. It was like 7 minutes left. Just cut your losses. I mean, do you give credit? He recognizes mistakes, but dude chopped his arm in half because of that. So I mean, it just it just sucks.
This is my favorite segment of the whole show. I'm literally crying laughing from the two of you. This is the best. Okay. Alright. Time to compose myself. It's my turn. Boys, do you want to know what sucks? Injuries in the NFL. Tanner already touched on it, but gosh darn it, I am sick and tired.
Oh
no!
Injuries have taken two of the most electric football players we have seen forever. Crazy white boy football was back. Tucker Kraft riddling off addresses of the cornerbacks' mothers that he's playing. And Mr. Cam Scadaboo, who's eating crayons and running through defenses' faces. I mean, dude, come on, man. These guys are insanely fun to watch. And then you hate to see them go down. And then the NFL in general, these injuries. People are saying that the players are made of glass. I don't think that that's the case. I think it's how they're training. I think it's how they work their bodies so much and then it just can collapse at any moment. But I also think it's the fact that playing on AstroTurf doesn't help. I think that a lot of these teams need to switch over to grass fields now. And we've talked about it for a long time. Injuries suck, man. And they suck the life out of a team. They suck because you watch these things happen and they hurt to watch. And then, you know what? This is a little sub rant. You know how they'll go on TV and they'll say, "Oh, that was a little gruesome. Let's get another look at it." Or, "That was a little gruesome, so we're not going to show it." And then it's immediately posted online 10,000 times for me to watch. I watched Jaden Daniels snap his arm in half 100 times, over and over and over again. I watched Tucker Kraft tear his ACL dozens of times. And I hate this. Injuries are the worst. And I wish that there was a way that injuries wouldn't happen in the NFL or if we could reduce them. It's crazy for a league that keeps throwing bullcrap penalties on quote-unquote saving player safety. we've got a lot of injuries, so I would really like them to address that.
Yeah, if you watch NFL Red Zone, one of Scott Hansen's favorite quotes is, you may want to look away at this one when a gruesome injury happens, and then they go and they decide, oh, let's replay it for the whole world to see. No, come on, guys.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that's my This Sucks rant.
Yeah.
Man, so that wraps it up for This Sucks.
Now,
A run pass
At this
option.
point, well, we
Get
get
him on the
Tanner's
edge,
beautiful face.
but he has
So
to have a chance
normally,
to make this play.
we're going to start a new segment
End
called the
around,
Harmony
Moore's
Play
gonna
of the
toss
Week.
it, and into
So,
the end zone.
I'm going to run it down. We don't have the clip for you today because we had silly tech issues before we got on air.
Well, we saw
So,
the misdirectional bears
A new
on the
show.
board here in Cincy.
It's time for one of the new parts of our
Anytime
show,
you
the
see
Harmony Play of the
they
Week,
call
brought
this
to you by
a
our friends
leaker.
over
You're
at
an
Heiner's Harmony.
outside
Heiner's Harmony
edge
believes
player.
great music,
And
just
you
like
see
great
the
football, is
quarterback
all
leak
about working
outside,
together in
your
perfect
antenna has
harmony.
to go up.
That is why they offer
have to keep
Christ-centered,
your eye on him if
private
you're an edge
lessons
player
in
or a
piano,
flapper.
guitar,
A run
voice,
pass
plus
option.
worship
Get him on
and
the
band
edge,
classes
but he
and
has to have a chance to
ensembles
make this
that
play.
bring musicians
They go
together
end
to grow
around,
as one.
Moore's gonna
In that
toss it,
same
and into
spirit,
the end
each
zone
week we are going to
to a
highlight a
wide
play
open
where all
Williams.
11 players move as one unit, where
Well, we
teamwork,
saw the
timing,
misdirectional
and
bears
trust
on the
come
board
together
here
in
in
the
Cincy.
perfect harmony to
Anytime
make something
you see
really
a-
special.
they call
Heiner's
this a
Harmony,
leaker.
where
You're an
faith and music
outside
come together in
edge
perfect
player.
harmony. So,
And you
the
see
play
the
that I chose this
quarterback
week,
leak outside, your
maybe in
antenna
post
has
we'll
to
add it
go
in.
up.
It is
You
the
have to
first
keep your eye
touchdown
on
of
him
the
if you're an
Bears
edge player
game.
or a
It was a
flapper.
double
A run pass option.
handoff
Get him
Tanner
on the
Fink
edge,
Joker.
but he
You
has
remember
to have a
that from
chance
when
to
we
make
were
this play.
kids?
oh
They go
yeah,
end
yeah.
And then
around,
Caleb
Moore's gonna
Williams,
toss it, and
Philly
into the end
special
zone
style,
to
catches
a
it in the end
wide
zone.
open
The offensive
Williams.
line play was perfect. Every single
saw the
player executed it
misdirectional
so
bears on the board here in
amazingly well,
Cincy.
and I wish we could roll the clip, but we
Anytime
don't
you see
have it.
they call this a leaker. You're
But
an
that is our
outside edge
Heinrich's
player.
Harmony play of the
And you
week.
see the quarterback leak outside, your antenna
All
has
right, so I guess it is my turn to run the show now as we move on to our Toxic Couch weekly awards, and we start with our MVP this week, Sam Darnold. He was 21 for 24 with 330 yards and 4 touchdowns, 2 of them to a rookie, Torrey Horton. He was one of my nominees for Offensive Rookie of the Week. He lost to another person. We'll get to him later. But the Seahawks are now sitting at 6-2, and we already talked about him. He looks like a top 5 quarterback.
Yeah, no, Darnold looks great, man. I'm all for this.
We're going to move on to our Coach of the Week, which this week is Dave Canales. He got arguably the biggest upset of the year so far.
No, it was not.
I think it is.
Okay.
They were
And what
14
technically
They were
it was the
14
biggest upset since 2023.
They were 14-point underdogs in this game, and they didn't just win. They made them look like playoff contenders. Dave Canales did. He did an excellent job with this Panthers team, and he is developing this team super, super duper well. We move on to our Offensive Player of the Week. Oh, God. Who we already talked about. He did so good, we gave him his whole weekly story. And that is Brock Bowers. 12 receptions, 127 yards, and a hat trick as a tight end. Do you know how impressive that is, Colton?
Yeah.
Especially when he was dealing with that injury for 4 whole weeks.
Yeah.
A whole month away from football. That's super impressive. We go to our Defensive Player of the Week, which, oh no, I gotta mention Alex Highsmith. Definitely one of the more underrated guys in the NFL, really kind of in TJ Watt's shadow, I believe. But this dude had 2 sacks, 3 tackles for loss, and another tackle, a forced fumble, and as an edge rusher, a pass defended. That is crazy impressive. These are the stat lines that you need to see if you're the Pittsburgh Steelers and you're paying these guys that much money. Because when you let Alex Highsmith and TJ Watt and company cook, they're going to get you to the playoffs by themselves. Our Offensive Rookie of the Week, Another tight end is Colston Loveland. You may have seen this past week, he got the game-winning touchdown against the Bengals. He had a total of 6 catches, 118 yards, and 2 touchdowns. The Bears are 5-3 and actually finally managed to get Colston going. I knew all along that Colston was going to be a great tight end. He's not as good as Tyler Warren. This Bears still passed on a generational talent. But Colston Loveland is a big threat, both in terms of blocking and in terms of running routes and catching the ball. The Bears found a gem, even if that gem doesn't have luscious blonde hair. And finally, our Defensive Rookie of the Week. He's been a Defensive Rookie of the Week for us before, but he is on the Dallas Cowboys, and he is an edge rusher, and his name is Donovan Ezraku. He managed to have a sack, a tackle for loss, and the graphic is going to say 5 sacks. I made a mistake. It was actually 5 pressures, which is still incredibly impressive. And the Cowboys look like they've really found a gem. I don't get to say this often, but Jerry Jones cooked with this pick.
Yeah, this is the second time we've talked about Ezraku. I'll give it to you.
So yeah, that wraps it up for our Toxic Couch Weekly Awards. We turn it over to Tanner now, who is going to have his debut with his segment.
Absolutely.
Tanner, take it away.
All right. So, 2-time Tiny Wiz champion here. Just gotta say it. I'm gonna show you guys some great players that you guys are gonna need to look for. I'm obviously not gonna tell you, oh, you need to go get JSN. You need to go get Puka Nacua. Yeah, we all know that. I'm gonna tell you some players that, yeah, you have a real chance of getting. You can either trade for them. They might be on your waiver wire if you're lucky. I'm not gonna show you all my secrets because I have 2 people in right now here that are also in the league I'm in, and I don't want them to win. I want to win, obviously. So we're gonna start. Jackson Dart. He is someone you should be looking to pick up for, especially if you got a quarterback with one of these later week buys. He's averaging right now about 23 points a game. He has rushing upside. He also has a pretty easy schedule with games like the Bears, the Commanders, the Lions. Even though the Lions are a good team, they're giving up a lot of points to quarterbacks right now. Really, overall, he's having a really, really strong rookie season. My next player that you should be looking for. This player you could trade for, make a trade especially if you're like a winning team right now and you are looking for somebody that can really pop off for you is Derrick Henry. I know he really hasn't had a great week since week 1, having that 29-point game, but if you look at, you could probably buy him low. He had a lot of weeks where he did really badly just because Lamar wasn't in this offense. Now Lamar is back in this offense. He's doing really good. He obviously didn't have a touchdown last week. And this is a running back that's going to really rely on touchdowns. He has no receiving upside. He needs those rushes and rushing touchdowns. But if you look at his schedule, he's got some clunkers. They got Minnesota, they got Cleveland, they got New York, they got the Jets, Cincinnati twice. I mean, those are teams that the Ravens are going to be favored in, and they're going to run the ball to win. Our next player is Rico Dowdle. I love this guy. I have him on my team. He's great. If you remember back, we had that 2-week stretch where he scored 32 points and 33 points, and then Chuba Hubbard came back, and he wasn't the same because he had to share the backfield with Chuba Hubbard, and in the 2 weeks Chuba Hubbard was back, he had a 45% snap share and 36% snap share, and he was averaging about like 7 points a game, and it wasn't looking great. And I think the Panthers realized that too, and then this week you see with Chuba Hubbard, and he has a 72% chance snap share. He scores 28 points. He rushes for 130 yards. He has 25 carries. This guy goes off with Chuba Hubbard. So the Panthers now realize, okay, if we want to win games, we need to start Chuba Hubbard. We need to start Rico Dowdle. And, I mean, you know what's crazy? I was looking at the stats. He has more 28-plus point games than every running back in the league right now, except Jonathan Taylor. More than Bijan, more than McCaffrey, more than Jacobs, more than all these crazy running backs. I think that he is a guy that you want if you can get him anyway. Next, my wide receiver, Emeka Egbuka. This guy you want to have. He really hasn't been doing great the past few weeks, but he's about to pop off. You have no Mike Evans in this offense anymore. Chris Godwin, we never really know when he's going to be healthy. Bucky Irving, still we don't know. I mean, this guy is the obvious number one option in this offense. In last week, he had a 37% target share. Didn't do great. I mean, it was kind of a wonky game with the Saints. Divisional games can be like that, but you want this guy if you can buy him low. My final player, tight end you want to pick up, especially if you are somebody like Colton who loses Tucker Kraft. Arondé Gadsden. This guy is averaging past few weeks 20% target share. He's averaging the past 3 weeks at 19 points per game. He is a deep threat. He's a big target for Justin Herbert to find downfield. And especially now that Joe Alt went down, this offense most likely is going to pass a lot more just because the ball is going to be a struggle. You want this guy in your team. And that's all. And I just want to talk about one more thing for those out there. And I want to talk about a question for both you and for Colton and Alex. The importance of having those game-changing players on your team. Those S-tier players that are just like, they aren't just like a good player. Those players are scoring. You can depend on. It's Monday night. You're down 20 points, and you need those points to make the playoffs. You can depend on. And right now, for me, those players are Jonathan Taylor, Christian McCaffrey, Bijan, Puka, JSN. I don't know how you guys feel about that, Colton, Alex. If you guys think there's a player that should be in that S tier, in my opinion, or if there's a player that
No, I think you covered all of them.
shouldn't be.
I think the only person that you should have put possibly in that S tier would be Rico Dowdle. I think he's the only person that I would put up there. And I don't know if Bijan gets to be in that S tier yet, because him and Jameer are both kind of going back and forth between having really good games and having stinkers. So I think maybe number 3 I'd put Rico instead of Bijan. But that's really the only place that I disagree with you.
Okay.
Yeah,
That makes sense. I mean, I go ahead, Alex.
Yeah, Colton put it pretty perfectly. I don't really have any disagreements here at that game-changing S tier spot, or anywhere, to be really honest. And even if I did, I kind of know better than to challenge the 2-time fantasy champion.
He has a dynastic
That's
run
right.
going on.
Wait.
What were you looking for your ring?
Okay. Yeah, I was like I should go grab it. But wait, I'll be right back. Just a minute.
He doesn't need to flaunt it.
Yes, he does. So,
Oh yeah.
yeah, Tanner, you've had quite a fantasy run now that we're just kind of waiting for you to get back with your ring. You were
there you
in
go.
the bottom. You were the bottom team in the league almost, and now you're back up in playoff contention in Heine Wiz. So you got to be feeling pretty happy.
Yeah. Not gonna lie, it was pretty rough. 1-4 start, but we get better. We made some trades. I made the most moves in our league, 33, and next closest is 20. I mean, there are some nights where I was up till 1 a.m. just like watching that waiver wire. I calling people, annoying the crap out of people, and you know what? I don't care if I'm known for making stupid trade offers. Every once in a while, there's an idiot that accepts it, and then I win.
And just so you're aware, Alex and I is idiot. We are the idiots who accepted.
And everyone else.
And everyone else. Everybody else.
I kid you not. Every other person has
person
accepted a dumb trade from Tanner at some point.
All right. Well, Tanner, thank you so much for your fantasy insight. We're going to keep having you on just for your fantasy insight at this point. I can't believe you did
That sounds good.
The Rain Man himself. All right, so moving on to power rankings, where we currently do not have a graphic because tech issues have just plagued the show today. If you can't tell that we're running on a potato today. So let's just get into it. Seahawks are number 1, Rams 2, Colts 3, Eagles 4, Bills 5. Bills and Eagles could really switch at any point. Seahawks definitely the best team at this very moment. I would expect to see more from them coming up. Rams look fantastic. I think on film they're one of the greatest teams that I've seen. Colts, despite the loss, still stay in our top 5. We've got Buccaneers at 6, Chiefs 7, Packers fall from 2 to 8 after that loss. They are the definition of inconsistent right now, and I can't tell if I want Matt LaFleur's head on a chopping block or if I want to praise him for being one of the best coaches in the league. It's really up and down. Lions fans feeling the same way right now at number 9. They can't figure out if they're good or not. It seems to be the story of the entire league at this point. Are they good? Are they not? Oh, well. Broncos 10 to round out our top 10. Patriots, just because of their strength of schedule, I know they look good. Currently sitting at 11. Right now, I've got 49ers at 12. Some way, somehow, they are the Frankenstein team of the NFL. They are still walking, and I cannot believe it. Chargers 13, definitely going to keep moving up. They also, with that O-line being injured, they worry me, and just about every single week, Justin Herbert throwing a pick 6 also worries me. Steelers, can their defense do it? Can their defense not? I don't know. Ravens are sneaking up on them at 15, though. And then we've got the Jaguars, Panthers, Texans, Vikings. Honestly, all of these teams have the ability to upset any great team in the NFL. So they are right where they belong in 15 through 19. Bears at 20. I know they had a good win this week, but their defense looked like it had more holes than Swiss cheese based off of how elite Joe Flacco looked against them. Caleb Williams just so happened to outscore them, and the defense decided not to cover Colston Loveland. Falcons at 21. I can't decide if they're good. I've decided no, so they're at 21. Cardinals 22. If Jacoby Brissett keeps playing this way, they will jump up. We've got Cowboys at 23. Commanders 24. Both teams absolutely plagued right now that had high expectations. They are now below. And then from 25 to 32, we've got everybody that you would expect. Giants, Bengals, Browns, Dolphins, Raiders, Saints, Titans, Jets. Jets move back down because they are clearly in a sell mode. All right, that's my power rankings.
Yeah, and I have a lot of agreements with you. Seahawks was a bold number 1.
They look the best and most explosive and consistent. That's the key right now is consistency.
The New England Patriots 11th at 7-2, and the Broncos 10th at 7-2. Those two teams, alongside the Colts, are tied for the best record in the league. Why so low in the power rankings?
Oh, I just think it's based off of their performances at the moment, and then you consider strength of schedule, and you consider where I think they're going to wind up at the end of the year. There's a lot that you consider, so that's why they wind up where they are.
But here's the thing with performance: both of those teams I just mentioned are coming off 6 consecutive victories.
Strength of schedule. Let's just keep it at that.
Yeah, I'm with you.
All right. Does that mean we go to our premiere segment on the show, Alex?
Yes, that means we go to our Week 10 game picks, and this time we will be joined by Tanner Rienga for these game picks. So, last week we tied.
We did. We tied.
We each tied at 10-4, and that puts Colton up still 2 games with a 64-38-1 record, while I am sitting at 62-40-1. And before we get into our Week 10 games, let's talk about each of the teams that are on bye, starting with the Dallas Cowboys.
Much needed for them. I don't know how they would come off of the bye given the tragedy that's happened this week, so they need it. Tanner?
Yeah, I'm glad that it. I mean, it's a good thing they definitely have it this week. I don't know. Yeah, like you said, I don't know how they would play, but they will. I think they'll use it as a rallying point and play for Marshawn, and they'll use it wisely.
Yep.
Another team that needs their bye is the Cincinnati Bengals.
Yeah.
I think they all.
I don't know what to do with the Bengals. Their defense stinks.
Yeah, I really can't see them contending if they can't figure things out right now, if they haven't put themselves in deep of a hole enough already.
Yeah.
with that, let's go to a team that has a little more of a chance than those two, which is the Kansas City Chiefs.
Chiefs need the bye after the loss to the Bills for sure. It's not like they need it to get healthy. I just think they need it to recoup and light another fire like they did already once this season.
And the final team on bye is the Tennessee Titans.
They suck.
They lost.
You, literally.
I think it speaks for itself. Actually, one of my hot takes that I just came up with just now, for overreaction or not, that I totally forgot to put in the doc was the Titans will not win another game this year.
Ooh, well, we don't know about that. But let's get into it.
Regardless, we go into our Thursday night game, which is between the Las Vegas Raiders and the Denver Broncos.
Tanner, I'll let you answer first. You're the newbie on the show.
All right, I'm picking the Broncos. The Broncos are, in my opinion, I feel like the Raiders are. Geno Smith is not playing good this year. He has thrown a ton of picks, and that Broncos defense is elite, one of the best secondaries in the league. They're just going to tear them apart.
No, I'm with you.
Do I need to say score? I'm sorry, I'm new
No.
to this. Do I need to say score or anything?
No, you don't need to say score.
Oh.
You just say your team, and then in the document we each put a little emoji to say who we're picking, so we can keep better track.
We'll put a trophy for Tanner.
We'll put a trophy
Okay.
for Tanner.
Yeah, I'm with you. I gotta take the Broncos here. I don't see any real chance of anyone on the Raiders doing anything. Maybe they had a chance with Jacksonville, but not a team that is coming off 6 consecutive victories.
I'd like to see how Brock Bowers does, but yeah, I think it's Denver, no contest here. It's a division game, so it could be weird, and it's also Thursday Night Football, so it could be extra weird. So Raiders could definitely go in an upset, but Denver should take it all the way if we're looking purely at everything. All right, this game's fun.
All right, we got the Atlanta Falcons and the Indianapolis Colts in Germany.
Yeah, nobody's addressed how festive you are for this game. The lederhosen and the whole getup. I mean, you can't see it on screen, but he's got the socks on too.
I would talk German, but I don't know very much German.
Ja, that's my little good German boy, ja? Oh, Alex, my little German boy.
Ich bin die Auferstehung und das Leben.
Und das Leben. Nice.
Direct quote from the Bible.
That's so
in
long.
German.
In German.
I think that's in John.
All right.
That is in John. I think it's in chapter 25.
I think someone needs to fact check that.
Yeah, that's definitely from John. That's all I know. But anyways, like I said before, this really depends on which version of Daniel Jones we get. If we get the good kind of Daniel Jones, whose O-line will block for him and he is able to make good reads, then it's Colts game all day. Defensively, Drake London should be put on lock. He has no idea what is coming out of Sauce Gardner. Or Mooney Ward, which I'm not sure if he's coming back yet or not. Sauce Gardner was cleared today. He was in concussion protocol. He will be traveling with the team and playing in the Germany game. Bijan Robinson could be a problem, but our run defense has looked really good, especially with Nick Cross at safety. He's the best run stop safety in the NFL right now, in my eyes. Yeah, so the Colts are definitely the safe pick overall, so I'm going to go with them, especially with their new coverage specialist.
All right, Rayman.
All right, I think I'm going with the Colts as well. Good, well-coached teams like the Colts, like they always play better after a tough loss like that. I do like the Falcons this year. I'm thinking it could be a close game, but I gotta go with the Colts.
I'm with Tanner on this one. Colts all the way for me. I've decided pretty much I'm picking them every game for the rest of the season.
Great. So now we go to the early window, and we start with Fox as the New York Giants take on the Chicago Bears.
Rain Man.
This is my upset. I think the Giants are going to beat the Bears. I think that Bears defense is not great. Jackson Dart is. I believe in Jackson Dart. He's an explosive quarterback. He can make plays. The Giants and where this Giants defense is pretty decent. Good D line could cause the Bears some problems as they're looking like DeAndre Swift is going to be out again, and maybe even Kyle Monungai. So, game to keep an eye on.
Colton?
I'm with Rain Man on this one. I think the Giants could take it. They've been in contention for almost every game that they've been in. Almost every game. I do really, yeah. Give me the Giants to upset the Bears at home.
Wow. Yeah, I am with neither of you guys. Tanner, you mentioned the Giants having a sleeper defense. I'm not really sure that that's true, especially after the performance Caleb Williams just had last week. I know that Caleb Williams didn't play the greatest defense, but he was still able to get everyone involved, and the Giants have really struggled on defense when teams know how to get everyone involved. So I am going to go with the Bears. This is going to be a shootout no matter what.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
But
Yeah.
but in the end, this is going to go to the Bears, and Jackson Dart is going to continue to be depressed on the sideline.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, he had a monster game. But, yeah, give me New York. I'm with Tanner on this one. All right, so next.
We got the Baltimore Ravens taking on the Minnesota Vikings. Another exciting one.
Rain Man.
I think I gotta go with the Ravens here. The Ravens are with Lamar. Lamar, if you look at his stats right now, even though he didn't play a few weeks. He has a 132 passer rating. He is playing really well, and the Ravens should go in there and get the dub and overwhelm JJ McCarthy.
I got the Vikings here. I was very, very impressed with JJ McCarthy last week. And I am well aware now, when I wasn't before, that he can go and he can upset anybody. And with that, I think the demon of JJ McCarthy is going to continue to terrorize the entire league. And especially against a defense that has been struggling a lot.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take the Vikings in the upset here.
I don't think that the Vikings winning will be an upset, and here's why. The Ravens secondary cannot compete with Justin Jefferson. Okay, let's just put it how it is. And if J.J. McCarthy is playing ball, and if he's being a threat in the run and the pass, and Aaron Jones is getting healthier every single time, I don't think it's an upset win for the Vikings. I think the Vikings are a better coached team. They are a better clutch time team. If any of you saw that video of J.J. McCarthy after getting the game ball where he's just like, oh yeah, I'm that guy. You know? This is not an upset.
Yeah.
This is not an upset for me. This is the Vikings. And I think they'll win it pretty convincingly.
With that, we go to an NFC South division game between the New Orleans Saints and the Carolina Panthers.
Rain Man.
All right, I think I go with the Panthers on this one. The Panthers are red hot right now. Rico Dowdle's playing his best game. Bryce Young really has been doing pretty decent. I mean, hasn't he hasn't been playing great, but he also hasn't been the reason why they're losing. Why when they lose, they lose. So I just gotta go with the Panthers here. The Saints are just bad. I mean, Tyler Shuck, he might be good, but right now he's a young quarterback. He needs just some reps, and yeah, I gotta go with the Panthers on this one.
There is no reason for the Saints to even try, except for the fact that they are wearing whiteouts this Sunday.
Oh, scary.
Yeah, shiver me timbers. Panthers all the way here. They're on the rise, and they need to continue that trajectory. And the Saints need to fight for the right to draft Fernando Mendoza. So,
I'll go with you guys. Clean sweep here for the Panthers.
mm-hmm.
All right. A
We move
great
over
game.
to CBS, and Jim Nantz and Tony Romo will be covering the New England Patriots and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
So I'll take this one. I think this is the first challenge all season that the Patriots are going to face. Buccaneers continue to get healthier. Chris Godwin is coming back. Agbuka's only getting healthier after his injury. Both of their running backs are only getting healthier. I love Drake May. I love the Patriots. I think they have a great future. The future is not now, though. It is currently now, and right now, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to win this football game.
Rain Man.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think Drake May has been playing out his mind. He's a great quarterback. I think maybe one of my hot takes was he's a top 5 quarterback in this league. But he's been sacked more than just about any other quarterback in this league, and that Buccaneers front seven is nasty between Vita Vea and the guys they have in that front. They're a great rush defense. I think the Patriots will be close. Are ultimately going to lose to clutch Baker Mayfield.
Yep.
I'm against you guys.
Oh,
I think the Patriots are going to absolutely shock the world, just like they did in Week 5 against the Buffalo Bills. This team is extremely exciting, and Drake May has arguably the best deep ball in the NFL now. This is a team that has won 6 consecutive games, and we've seen some inconsistency out of Baker Mayfield and the Buccaneers offense, although it was against some worse teams, granted. I think they're caught off guard. I think the Buccaneers come out of this game saying, hey, we need to regroup. I'm taking the Patriots here.
all right.
Next, we have the Jacksonville Jaguars taking on the Houston Texans. Now, before we say anything, I have to remind you, no C.J. Stroud for this game. He is in concussion protocol.
I'm really hot for the Texans.
I think that
But I'm only hot for the Texans when CJ Stroud is playing. I know he hasn't been playing his best ball this season, but he is still a reason that they can win football games. Their defense is going to look fantastic, but Jacksonville's got a new piece in the wide receiver core, and they've kind of been humming down in Duval. So I'm going to take Jacksonville here.
Duval.
As much as I don't want to take either team, I'm got to go with Jacksonville here, especially with Stroud being hurt. Davis Mills has potential. David Mills was never a truly terrible quarterback. But at the end of the day, the safe pick here is Jacksonville because of that injury. So I'm going to go with them.
Tanner?
I think I'm gonna. I think even though CJ Stroud's out, I think I go with the Texans.
Oh.
I think that Texans defense is nasty. I'm not a believer in the Jaguars. I think the Jaguars are one of those teams where you say like a team can win any given Sunday. Jacksonville is one of those teams that can lose any given Sunday. I mean, I just think that this front seven of the Texans is just going to give them a run for their money, and they're just going to end up losing this game.
Tanner has somehow managed to say two of the most profound things we've ever had said on this entire show, and he's been on for an hour. We go live for an hour and a half every week. You love to see it. I hope that ages well, Tanner.
Now we
Yeah, me
go to the
too.
AFC East, where the Buffalo Bills take on the Miami Dolphins.
Oh, Rain Man, where'd you go, bud? Hey, there he is.
Sorry.
Well,
Yeah,
since we're
sorry,
talking to
checking
you,
my phone battery.
let's hear your take on this game.
Yeah, the Bills. Just the Bills. The Dolphins suck. Mike McDaniels, that is one that I should have done that for the sucks rant. I can't stand him. I think he's a great offensive coordinator, but as a head coach, no energy. He looks like he's high. He just I don't like him.
Tanner, I'm with you, bud. Buffalo for all of the same reasons.
Yeah, this could finally be the week that Mike McDaniel gets the boot, especially if they get belted enough by this Bills team. I'm going to take them.
All right. Well, that one was easy.
Now we have the most exciting game this week between the Cleveland Browns and the New York Jets.
Yes, the Tank Bowl. I'm so excited.
This is not the Tank Bowl for Cleveland. Cleveland has 2 quarterbacks in their room that need as many actual reps and as much experience as they can get. The Jets don't care. They just traded away their whole defense. The Browns are in a position where they actually need to show upside, and that is why I'm going to take them.
What do we got?
I think the Browns. I think Cleveland is going to win this game. The Jets, I think at this point, because of all the trades they made, I think that was the right move for the Jets long term. But I mean, that just sent what a message to your locker room saying, okay, yeah, forget about this season. We're just gonna throw the white flag. So I just gotta go with the Browns.
I have nothing to add on what you two have. Browns, their defense is fantastic. Dylan Gabriel looks like a rookie quarterback, but a rookie quarterback who's winning games. And the fact that the Browns did not move on from any of their key pieces like people thought they were going to sends a big message to the locker room, just like Tanner said. But on the inverse, Njoku's like, I'm here and I'm here to stay. We're rebuilding the Cleveland Browns every single year, but we're still rebuilding. And they're bought in up there. So give me Cleveland.
Let's go over to the late window where the Arizona Cardinals take on the Seattle Seahawks.
Rain Man, this should be a good game. What do you think?
I have to go with the Seahawks, but I think this game is on upset alert. I have to go with the Seahawks, but the Cardinals, if you remember the last time they played, it was a really, really close game, came down to the final minutes. The Cardinals, Jacoby Brissett, honestly, they've been losing, but they haven't been horrible. All those games that they've lost have pretty much been by field goals, really close games or one-score games. So it could be closer than you think, but I gotta go with the Seahawks. They're just red hot right now, and they'll keep that momentum going.
Yeah, with Kyler Murray basically being benched, they put him on IR. That's a pretty good indicator that he is done with the team. And they're still debating on what they want to do with his contract. But Jacoby Brissett, as of right now, is the long-term starter for Jonathan Gannon and his team. I would like to say that the Seahawks are going to make this competitive. McBride looks great, catching touchdown passes left and right. And then we've got Marvin Harrison, who's looking equally as great. So Arizona, definitely upset alert, but Seattle is the best team in the league right now, so let's keep it with Seattle.
Yeah, Arizona, this definitely is not an unwinnable game for them, but Seattle is the safe pick here. So I'm just gonna go with them. I'm not too impressed with Arizona's defense right now. I just don't think that they're gonna be up for the competition of Torrey Horton, who's really becoming one of the better receivers in this league, behind everyone's backs, and JSN, obviously. So I'm going to go with the Hawks.
All right, moving on to the next game.
On the other side of the NFC West, we have the Los Angeles Rams and the San Francisco 49ers on America's Game of the Week.
Yeah, it's the Frankenstein team versus the team that is consistently hot and consistently good. I haven't talked about it enough with the Rams. I'm shocked with after how Aaron Donald retired, they have completely rebuilt their defensive line, and they are just as dominant as when Aaron Donald was there. Last time this game went down, the Niners took it, shockingly. But I think, give me the Rams in this one. I don't think that they will lose to the Niners twice.
Rain Man.
Yeah, I agree. I think the Rams are a really, really good team. Niners are also a really good team, but it's eventually these injuries just become too much, and I think the Rams just win this. And yeah, like Colton said, they don't want to go 0-2.
I'm against you too. Shanahan just for some reason seems to have Sean McVay's number. For some reason, Shanahan always knows what pushes McVay's buttons, what pushes the Rams' offense buttons, and that wouldn't have been the case 5 weeks ago if McVay would have play called properly. But in this case, I am going to give it to the 49ers just because I know what happens usually, at least in the regular season, when these two square off, when they're both contenders at least. So I'm going to take the 49ers.
All right. Moving on.
We got the Detroit Lions taking on the Washington Commanders.
What all had hoped would have been a good game now is just sad.
Yeah, this originally was going to be America's Game of the Week for that week.
Yeah, this is now just sad. Rain Man, I'd like to hear your thoughts on Commander's team, who's kind of on the decline.
Yeah, I completely agree. This is just sad for the Commanders. I think the Detroit Lions are just going to smash them, and then it's not even the Commanders' fault. They have injuries have just ravaged them this year. Jane Daniels can't seem to stay healthy, and for a team last year that we were thinking they finally turned the corner, or we're kind of questioning, did they really? Because it just doesn't look good. And I think on a side note, I think we also have to question about Jaden Daniels if is it just another RG3 because this guy has had 4 injuries in 2 years. He's great. I think when he's on the field, he's one of the best quarterbacks. But he gets injured, and because he's kind of small, he's a little scrawny. I just hope and pray for the best for him, but it's kind of too bad.
Yeah, this is Detroit all the way for all the same reasons, but Detroit's not going to take 2 nasty losses back to back.
Yeah, you guys took the words right out of my mouth. I'm going with Detroit.
All right, 2 games left, Alex.
And with that, we move to Sunday Night Football between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Los Angeles Chargers. Rain Man.
I think this was actually one of the hardest games for me to pick. I think I got to go with the Steelers. I think I have to go with the Steelers. I'm scared with these Chargers offensive line injuries. I love Justin Herbert, but Aaron Rodgers, he's been playing good. He's a good, we thought on the Jets he was old and done. He's looking really good. He's looking back to his normal self, and the Chargers offensive line just makes me really nervous.
I'm with you, Tanner, for all the same reasons. If this defense, Watt and Highsmith, can torment the Indianapolis Colts offensive line the same way they can imagine what they're going to do to this injured Charger squad coming off the edges. It's going to be a rough night for the Chargers, I think. I think this game is less close than people think. I'm going to take the Pittsburgh Steelers, and they are going to be put on everyone's radar comes playoff time.
Ooh, so I'm against you two on this one. I think the Chargers in LA for a night game. Given that it is a Sunday, hopefully the LA traffic is good enough and people can make it out to the game, and that it's not just, Pittsburgh home game number 2. I think the Chargers have got it. I think that despite the O-line woes, they did trade to go get some help. Justin Herbert looks fantastic. That defense, we're forgetting a guy named Khalil Mack, who not long ago was one of the best defensive players in the entire league and still can wreak absolute havoc. They're going to get after Aaron Rodgers. And this defense will hold. I do think as well, I think that the Chargers are the better disciplined team. And that's why I think they're going to take it.
All right. Bold. And finally, I'm going to bring it over to you guys first because as Packer fans, I want you two to have say. But this is our Toxic Couch Game of the Week on Monday Night Football as the Packers host the Philadelphia Eagles.
The Packers have looked good at home up until last week, I would say. And defensively, I think Micah knows these tackles. I think Micah knows this O-line. I think he's going to manage really well. Defensively, I'm not worried about it. I've said every single week that I'm going to pick the Packers because I do think that we should be the best team in the league with our roster. Losing Tucker Kraft, that hurts our chances. I'm not going to lie. Rain Man, I want to hear your analysis on this before I pick.
I think I have to go with the Packers on this one. I love the Eagles are a great team too. I think this is going to end up probably having number 1 seed implications later down the road. And I think I just have to go with the Packers. They're at home. The Packers seem, for some reason, when we play really good teams, we bring our A game and we actually play well, but when we play the bad teams like the Browns, we forget how to play football. And it's just sometimes it's like that. But I think that this Eagles team, they're coming off a bye. Am I correct?
Yes, you're correct.
For me, certain coaches do better off buys. I think Sirianni is a coach that doesn't have an advantage off a bye because I think Sirianni's not a guy that's using the extra week to scheme up plays like a McVay or Andy Reid. He's like a coach like Mike Tomlin where he's motivating these guys, and it's kind of gets hard to motivate these guys for 2 weeks. And I just think that the Packers have a little bit of an edge here.
See, I'm against you guys. Not because I hate the Packers, but because I simply can't pick against Philadelphia right now. They're red hot. Jalen Hurts has unleashed the deep ball, and the league still needs to respond to that in some way. And in the meantime, the Eagles cannot be stopped, so I'm going to go with them.
Okay, so I haven't made my pick yet, but here's what I'm going to say. I'm extremely concerned about Keyshawn Nixon in this Packers secondary. Valentine looked good against Jamar Chase when we played them, and then all of a sudden, Keyshawn Nixon has just been terrible. Like, there's no other way to put it. He's been playing really bad football. First 4 weeks were really good. It's not been that way. It should be an offensive shootout. Should be. However, I do think the Packers defense takes the edge. So I am going to go with Green Bay here.
So you two are repping your teams.
Let's go, baby. Go back,
Yeah.
go.
I'll ride and die, just like the Edmund Fitzgerald.
All right, glad to see it. So that wraps up our picks, which means that wraps up this episode of Toxic Couch TV. But before we go, just a big thank you once again to our sponsor, Heinrichs Harmony, offering Christ-centered piano, guitar, and voice lessons, plus worship band and ensemble opportunities for musicians of all levels.
Yeah, if you're looking for lessons that inspire both your talent and your faith, visit stepstograce.com and scroll down to Heinrichs Harmony for all of the details.
Where faith and music come together for perfect harmony.
Wow, now that ad read is wrapped up, man, what a show. Tanner, it's been an absolute pleasure. We can't wait to keep having you on the show. Hopefully the tech issues get figured out.
No, it was an honor to be here. It's fun. It was a lot of fun. Honor to be on the show, and it's fun to share my opinion, share my knowledge, and just talk about football with you guys. It was fun. Thank you guys for having me.
We appreciate it, dude. Man, any closing thoughts from you, Alex?
No, let's go to Germany and let's get ourselves a victory.
Yeah, all I have to say is go, Pat, go. I'm worried about this one, but we'll be okay.
Yeah.
I want to see the good side of Daniel
go.
Jones. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure the Germans do too.
Yeah. All right, well, that does it for our show this week. Thanks for joining us. If you're on YouTube, like and subscribe. We need 50 subscribers so we can just stream straight to YouTube because I'm sick of this Twitch stuff. Once again, thanks for joining us. I'm Colton Heinrich. Joining us over the phone is Tanner Rainman Rienga and Alex Blackwood over here looking like a German sweetheart. So thanks for joining us. This is Toxic Couch TV signing off.
Verabschiedung.
Bye.
Toxic Couch TV, your weekly show with me, Colton and Alex Harmony. Toxic Couch TV. Mm.